Morning YouTubers, welcome back to Allotment Diggers. Well, probably hear the tone of my voice is a bit hoarse today. I've got a eye infection, weeping eye, back of my throat's on fire. I've got an ear infection, I blew my nose before and perforated my eardrum, so I'm not feeling too good. And I could have saved myself a lot of grief yesterday. This is all stemmed from doing the wood chip on the front part of my plot yesterday. I'm going to show you that in a minute, take you on a bit of a tour, give you an update on the greenhouse moves, what we've been doing. Also, we've been pruning back the sedum on the front of the plot, and well, I've actually got them seeds what Nigel sent me. I thought I'd show them you. I've also got some other seeds as well, which I'm going to be telling you about, what I bought on eBay, and it was somebody in China I bought them from in the end. However, there's a story, and you won't believe it until you hear it. And anyway, let's start off with what we've been doing. Well, earlier this week we was removing all the tops off the sedum, so I'm going to show you me doing a bit of that now, and the aspelia. I hope you can understand as well what I'm saying. Like I say, my voice is it's a bit hoarse, and my nose is bugged up, and for God's sake don't make any comments, blow your nose. I'll blow my nose, end up with I mean at the moment yeah, this is all on this side of my face, which is affected. So yeah, it's pretty tough. I've got some soothers as well, trying to ease the pain. I do find aspirin, dissolvable aspirin, if you suck one of them, it takes the sawdust out of your tonsils. It really does work, but it's my tonsils which are enlarged, which is causing me the problem, that's all. I hope you can understand what I'm saying. So let's go and show you this, me doing the sedum, and we'll be right back. Okay, what you're looking at here, this is aspelia, and what we're going to do is cut it off at the base. In fact, first things first, trim it, and all these are just break. So that's the aspelia sorted out, and come about March, April, you'll see all this lot coming up, and it'll look absolutely glorious again. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove all the tops off this sedum. So first things first, I'm just going to take all the top bits off, make it easier. And now we tease these off now using these secateurs, close as I can to the this is all the new growth coming up here, by the way. You get a closer look at it in a minute. You can actually see the spring bulbs all coming up around them. Put that there. I could do a better pair of shears than these ones. Everywhere you look you can see lilies coming up here. They're not lilies, daffodils and tulips and what have you. But the sedum, which is there, that'll start to put on mass around about March, April. I'll start to see it coming up. I've just got a few more to trim, and then we're good to go. Then we've cleared them all, and it'll look, the beds will look a lot tidier for it as well. So I'm just going to continue down the line and finish these off. Well guys, the good news is we've cleared it all now. All the sedums, the dead sedum tops have all been removed, and you can the new growth is just starting to come up. You can see all the beds there full of daffodils and tulips and crocuses, and yeah, we've done the same on the other bed over there. We've took all the sedum out of there, and we've took the two aspelia from the corners there. We took the dead wood off the tops of them, and they'll come back around about March, April, and they'll put up another fantastic display later on this year. And well, one thing, we'll be able to see the birds a lot better here, the ground feeding birds. Little dunnet there, popping along in the bed. In fact, there's a few dunnets over there. There they are, there's one of them on the boards, and there's another one moving down. And there's the fattest dunnet I've ever seen. Look at this fat bugger there. Look at that one. Absolute. Yeah, so we've got quite a lot of them, and if you look across here, you can see all the long-tailed tits. There must be about 20 of them there in the trees that are just behind the plot, but on the feeders themselves, there's a few there. There's some great tits as well. That's a blue tit what's just come on the feeder. Yeah, there's a great tit just popped onto the feeders, so it's just buggered off. Anyway, as I'm saying, there's quite a lot of activity going on here. So you've got all the, like I say, the birds on the tops of the feeders. Just pan the camera out, you can't see them all. There's some long-tailed tits there. There must be 3 or 4 of them. In fact, there's a whole host of them now. There must be about 10 of them there. There's a great tit just come on the feeder. So it's a wonderful sight to see. And this time of year, you've got to make sure the feeders are full. And I find they particularly like them seed balls. They really do, they love them, and go through quite a few of them actually. Anyway, them lot have all disappeared into the woodland at back of the plot, and like I say, you got the dunnets and the robins and what have you lower down, but they've just disappeared as well. I'm looking up into the sky to see if I can see a bloody kestrel. No, there's a dunnet there, right in the, well, centre of the picture almost. It's just bopped down behind the boards. But we've got quite a colony of them. Quite nice to see them dunnets. It's also nice to see the great tits and the blue tits, the great tit and blue tit there on the feeder. And if I can just zoom in before they disappear, you can see the difference. On the left is the great tit. That's got a big black mark right down its belly, and the blue tit's just got a tiny little dicky bow sort of thing on the right hand side. So that's the difference between the two species there, guys. And as you can see, the great tit's absolutely beautiful, although the blue tit's just as good. But there you go, there's the comparisons of the two birds. And there's, like I say, you've got the long-tailed tits, you've got the old everything there, the cold tits, they're all on here, something spooks them. Again. Anyway, we're going to leave it there for now. So yeah, we've took all the tops off the sedum. You can see all the new growth, which is starting to come up now. The Aspelia, well, that just desiccates right down to the ground. So what we did, we took the tops off that, and in about 3-4 weeks time, or 3-4, oh, I don't think about this. We're still in January, guys, so we're talking March, end of March, you're going to start seeing the Aspelia coming up, and it'll look absolutely lovely. Each year there's more and more comes up on them two corners. We've actually got some either end of the beds as well, so they'll be coming up hopefully bigger and better this year. Anyway, where do we go from here? That was one of my favourite musicals, that Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the musical, the song Where Do We Go From Here? Oh dear, should have told you I like that. It was the song I like, not Buffy. Anyway, so a quick update on the greenhouse moves. I was over on Bill's plot the other day on his new plot. Now he's got the plot, he's swapped from the plot on the side of him to the plot on the opposite side of him, and he wanted to move his greenhouse first. So George obviously moved his greenhouse last week off the plot, so it was Bill's turn. But he wanted to build a base out of some big joist, wooden joists. They're about 10 inches by 3 inches. Anyway, he dragged me into it because I'm the only one who can figure out all the numbers. You would have thought with an head teacher being there as well, you know, they've been pretty savvy, but anyway, I marked all the pieces what needed to be cut. I said, I'm not bloody cutting them. I says, not with that saw anyway. We all took it in turns to cut the wood, which nearly killed us because Bill's saw was about as useful as a spoon trying to cut through concrete. Yeah, it was that tough going. Anyway, we got all the things all cut to size, and I screwed it all together. So we had the base. Now, the day before, Bill, in his wisdom, took all the glass out, so it was just a matter of bringing the greenhouse and dropping it on the base. We decided where the base was going to go. We dropped it on the base, and then I drilled a load of holes all the way around the greenhouse and fixed it to the base, so it's going nowhere. And the next day, I think it was Jonathan, George and Bill put all the glass back into it. So is the first greenhouse to actually been put back together the way it was. He's moved it and put it back together, so a big round of applause to Bill. So I'm going to show you what we did. You might even see these characters in the video.
Well, we're nearly done. We've just got to screw the base down. There's Bill, Johnny and
as you can
Georgia.
see, we've moved the greenhouse from here, and it's now on Bill's new plot, which is here. We've well, yesterday I made this base, measured it all, cut it all to size. Well, actually, I only cut it. Well, I got the lads to cut it. I just give them marked it all out, shown them where the lines was, let them cut it. Then I've screwed it all together. Then we brought the greenhouse over, which you saw, which all the glass was taken out. I've screwed it onto the base, and this morning they've come on. George, Bill and Jonathan, and they've put the glass in it. So yeah, that's the last of the greenhouses to be moved. Well, that greenhouse obviously needs to be moved next to the other one. That's the green one over there. That needs to be moved over sometime in a week or so. But yeah, the only other thing what needs to come off Bill's plot now is all that there. All that will be put the other side of that greenhouse. And well, this plot here, it's been let out. It's been given to someone else. We don't hang around here. As soon as a plot comes available, we offer it out, and we've got a waiting list. I think there's about, well, there was 12, but by the end of this week there'll be about 7 on the waiting list, because we're giving 5 more plots out. So yeah, it's and whoever gets this has got a cracking base here. This shouldn't have never have been here, this, but we can't break it up. It's about 6 inches deep. Someone very naughtily set this about 20 years ago, and well, he didn't last very long after that. But there builds chickens there. Jonathan's got the next plot, that's his son-in-law, and between them they've got this plot here and the other plot over there, and it's got some lovely chickens in there. There's some Nova Browns. I'm not too sure what the black ones are. They're not road rocks, that's for sure. Them black ones, I've no idea what they are. And he's got some fancy ones over there. I don't suppose you'd be able to see them very clearly. But yeah, they've got the full plot here, and they've got the full plot here. So they've got right the way across the centre of the allotments. At least he did what I told him to do. Put the mark out where they all come from. But he didn't need to do that on the sides. It was just on the backs really what he needed to do, and on the door where the glass is slightly different. This is all 2x2, and I told him the best way to do it, roof first, get your glass in on your roof first, then do the sides and then the back, but never ever leave panes out. Once you start, you've got to finish, otherwise you get a strong wind, it could pop all the glass out if you don't put all the panes in. He's got a few cracked ones there, he'll replace them. I'll get some glass to it. If that one there and that one there's got a crack in it. Other than that, his greenhouse is good to go. We're going to use another 2 pieces of board. We're going to put them inside, and he's going to have two beds running down the sides, and there's some paving stones which George has kindly left him in there, and he's going to use them as the path down the centre. That's when it's all done. And yeah, so that's Bill's greenhouse moved. That shed's to be moved. That shed's to be moved. I think this shed's staying. So there we go. Anyway, that's the latest update on the greenhouse moves. Yeah, so there it goes. It's on the base, and he was very lucky. There was a load of topsoil. This guy come to the gates and was talking to a mate of mine, Bernard. He said, "Look, I've got a load of topsoil here. It had turf in it and what have you." He said, "Would you be interested in it?" He said, "I've also got I think it was about 33x2 paving stones, and well, Bill needed these paving stones because George is taking all his back because he wants them for his greenhouses." So fortunately for Bill, he on good times, and he's got he must have got about 200 quid worth of paving stones there for nothing. There was a load of topsoil dropped off, and people have been taking bits of it. I took some for our kids' plot. I've been putting some in his greenhouse. I started to do one, and it started to rain, so I knocked it on the head. But I'll be back over there this week sorting that out. I'll show you that again. So yeah, that's the update on the greenhouse. We still got to move quite a lot of sheds, and you saw the shed there, what he's got to move as well. So there's fun and games still to be had. Ryan has moved from the plot next door but one to me. He's moved on to another plot now. There was a shed what I was given, and the guy's left. He said, "Do you want this shed, Mark? It's a really good shed." So I said, "Yeah, I'll have it. I know someone who will take that." So I said to Ryan, I said, "Would you like this shed?" So I took him over. Now he's just been digging his plot over, and he's done a really good job. He said, "What's the chance of me, rather than taking the shed over, why could I have this plot here?" So I looked at Mike. He'd done a good job on the other one. So I said, "Okay, yep, we can agree to that." So we've given him so we don't have to move that shed. That's the most important thing. And we give him a plot. If he does what he's done with the other one, great. And would you believe it, Mike actually give that plot out this week. So the plots think there's about 4 people on the waiting list now. We've like I say, we're full to capacity at the moment. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 plots left to be given out, and yeah, we've done really well. Nigel said, I didn't realise just how big your allotments was. Well, we only seen half of it when I was coming round with the camera. It's twice the size of what it was, what you saw in the last episode. There's 100 plots on here, and yeah, it's got all the amenities. It's got an orchard, we've got an apiary, we've got loads of bees, we've got 2 massive compost bays, we've got a wood chip bay, we've got the whole 9 yards basically. We've got a bit of a shop, storage space, loads of storage cupboards. I think there's about 40 sheds, little lockups, which they're not on the plots, they're all in there like rows, and yeah, it's pretty big site. Speaking of Nigel, now in the last episode he sent me these. I'm gonna make sure I've got it the right way. There we go. Happy growing. About all the best, Nigel. Now these are them Crimson Crush, and I had them in my coat pocket in the last episode, and basically I was lazy and I just didn't want to get off my backside and go and get them. Now I've got another envelope here. I'm going to tell you more about this at the end of the video. I've never been mugged before, been ripped off, but what's in this letter? There's one person in this world what managed to pull the wool over my eyes. I'll tell you more about it. Anyway, so that brings me on to putting the wood chip onto the front of the plot. I mounted a wood chip come yesterday, so I thought this is where the chest infection, the eye infection, throat infection, ear infection comes from. Dropped a ton off at the top of the plot, and I wanted to do my front of my plot. Now we've already done the chickens, they've done my chickens, done the chickens over there. It was my turn to get some wood chips. So what I did was I worked through the rain, doing the front of my plot. So I'm going to show you what it looked like just before, I'm going to show you what it looked like afterwards. So have a look at this. Well guys, the wood chip turned up today, so what I'm going to do all around here. I've got to be very careful around me snowdrops and what have you. I'm going to have to put that in very carefully, but all the paths, I'm going to do all the paths, and well, I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. There's another bag there, bag over there, and one in the centre. So I think I've got enough to do the job. So we'll be back in a moment or two when I've done it all, okay? So I'm going to get my spade and I'm going to have at it with my rake. Well, there's nothing worse than rain stopping play. I was just getting there with the wood chip. The bloody rain's come hammering down, look at that. So at the moment I'm stood in the greenhouse here twiddling my thumbs. I'm nearly done. Just got to do underneath the tables and what have you, and around the snowdrops underneath the trees, and then that's it. But yeah, just started now. It's held off all day and now it's bloody started as I'm coming to the completion. Unbelievable it is. But nothing you can do when it rains. Well, there you go folks. We've finally got the wood chip in. We're gentle how we went around the snowdrops underneath the trees, but that's all been mulched. All the paths on the front of every one of them have been done. So there you go. That's the front of the plot, all ready for the growing season. We've got the back almost ready. So yep, flag giving it some there. Westerly wind blowing, pretty strong. But yeah, the main thing is we've got all the paths all done. There we go. Absolutely awesome. Nearly killed me doing it as well. So there you go, the plot's looking absolutely spanking. The front part is anyway. I could have done the back, but it was just too much to do and I thought I would leave a load for everyone else, and you might see one or two people going up and down here every now and again, and what they're doing is going to get a load of wood chip from up the top. Can he drop that much off? It was unbelievable how much this guy drops off. He's got one of these big trucks, and he just, big tipper trucks, it just tips it all out, and then it's like whiskey galore, everyone for himself. That's how if you can get as much as you want, there's no problem, there's no limit to how many barrels of wood chip you want. If you want to get it, you go and get it. Same with the compost, the horse manure. We have just had 2 big drop-offs of horse manure this week. Both bays are full to the brim, and you would think everybody make a mad dash for it, but everybody has got tons of it on the plots anyway, so you can take as much as you want as well of that. It's, you can take the whole lot. If you can get it on your wheelbarrow and take it to your plot, it's yours. There's no one complains, no one pulls the face about it. It's yours if you can get it, if you can do the move. It gets put in these particular spots, so the graft is there, you've got to go and get it. Other than that, like I say, it's free as well. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take you on a tour of the plot. So you're going to get to see the snowdrop. We're very careful doing the snowdrops as well, as I just mentioned. But you're going to see what the plot's looking like at the moment, and we'll be right back after that.
We've got a southwesterly 9 mile an hour wind today. Good news, this humidity is about 83%. Chance of rain at the moment is about 40%, but it will get more as the day goes along. Believe it or not, it's 9 degrees. It feels about 10. It's not too bad actually. Anyway, we're coming down onto the plot. I'm going to take you on a bit of a tour, show you what around. Yes, we've top dressed this, as you saw in the last episode, and it looks a damn sight better. Pretty good wood chip. This is the only thing I haven't done what I said I was going to do. We're getting here shortly and clear these dead leaves off the strawberries. You see me take the sedum up. Just noticed all these spring bulbs here, guys. They're absolutely everywhere. Looks pretty awesome. Obviously there's no growth for anything on the gooseberries here. There's a few buds on the currant bushes. Again, this other bed here, this is absolutely full of bulbs coming up now. You can see them all coming up along the borders, everywhere. And then you've got the fig here, couple more raspberries. These green figs, yeah, the green figs in the sea of soil. This is rosemary. We've got quite a few of these bushes scattered around. We do like a lot of rosemary. We've wood chipped around all the trees. You can see all the planters now all starting to come up. Oh, little dunnet there, little edge spanner. Like I say, I nearly tripped up over it the other day. And the robin. They don't care whether I'm working on it or not. They're so used to me. Again, crocuses coming up here. These are almost flowering. More crocuses everywhere you see. Most of them are crocuses. Again, crocuses in these hanging baskets. I think they look better on the ground, but I do like them in this particular basket. We're not going in the greenhouses at the moment, but again, all that soil is going to be poured into me when I recover from this chest infection. More crocuses, and there's more plants coming up along here. These elephant garlic are doing all right. There's some Swedes and beetroot there. They're my girls. They're quite happy, making a bit of a noise. We've got some shallots over there which are starting to come up. We do need to sort these dahlias out. I need to move them. At the moment they're undercover, they're not too bad. I left them in soil just for an experiment to see what happens. They should be okay. I normally take them out, but I've got so many of them, it doesn't really matter. I've got probably the same amount at home as well, which I need to bring down here. So these don't come good, which I can't see any reason why they shouldn't, because I've done it this way once or twice in the past. We'll start to see some movement on these around about April, May. I might even put them in the greenhouse once we bring the shed over. That's something which we're still working on. Like, I've got to get someone to help me with all these paving stones here. I've got osteoarthritis in my spine, and even trying to lift one of these days would kill me. So I need someone to help me get them over onto our kids' plot. And that's for this path. The shed's almost empty. There's just a dried up dead rat in there and a couple of other little bits and bobs. The reason why I come down here is to show you the rhubarb. It always grows well here. It's January, I think it's let's have a quick look at the date. The 26th it is. January the 26th, and the rhubarb's doing wonderfully. Put a thick layer of horse manure over the top of him, and there's nothing better for it, and up it comes. I don't even have to force it. Get a couple of hard frosts, it won't do it too much damage. It's pretty resilient, is rhubarb. And we've actually got we've got a bed at the front of the plot which has got a load of this on as well. But yeah, end of February, start of March, be having rhubarb crumble again. This is just a catch-all. All these scaffolding boards here, these big planks, this trailer. I need to sort the wheels out. We're going to be using that as to move stuff about, make it easier. It actually tips up as well, so it's worth keeping. I've got a burning bin there, a new one, and actually I've lent one of them out to. Well, she hasn't took it yet. This is my neighbour. She asked me if she's going to borrow my burning bin. At the moment, it's on my brother's plot. But yeah, we did the wood chip here a couple of weeks ago, and it's doing okay. Like I say, these have been gone. I was going to take these out, but I mean, they look like they've got frostbite and everything. But trust me, they're actually really crunchy. These, they're self-blanching, Liffham's self-blanching celery. The celeriac's doing all right as well there. I'm going to take these out next week. Then I'm going to put scaffolding boards across here so we can walk this over the plot. That's the only way to get that to the other side, is to go over here. So I keep taking, there's a few what they call them, Brussels sprouts there left. I just been throwing a few into the chickens, a few purple cabbage left, that red cabbage, cone cabbage that is. Well, as I say, all the trees are all dormant. I was very careful when we was putting the wood chip in here yesterday. And today, you can see clearly, well, I don't know if you can see, but the snowdrops there, just starting to come up. Everywhere you look underneath here is snowdrops. So right the way along, there's a few daffodils in amongst them. But yeah, it's good wood chip that as well. I was pretty lucky to get that. So we come along onto the other side of the front of the plot. You can see the rhubarb there. Bloody got flowers coming up in the middle of rhubarb there. I don't know how that's happened. But it's about 3 deep. Actually, there's about 5 deep. You can see all the way along there. These are all daffodils and tulips coming all the way around. They go all the way around there, and again along here, and they go right the way around. You can see all of the baskets there with the tulips and daffodils in. It's making a lot of noise, that little donut. Again, this bed here is full of bulbs. These are my raspberries. I say rhubarb here. So, you know, rather than just growing the fruit, I've put flowers into these beds as well. And as you can see, there's hundreds of them in a square foot there. I bet there's 40 bulbs there, just that square. Crazy. They double every year as well, which is even awesomer. Awesomer, is that a word? And the only bed what hasn't got spring flowers in is this one. This one's got more currants, raspberries, several different varieties of raspberries. As you can see, all the paths are all done. Well, you can see, I don't know if you can see the sedum a bit better there. Actually, that's covered it a bit. Move that off there. But yeah, that's sedum. In about 3 months' time, will be about this high, and before you know it, it'll be 2 foot high, and it'll be covered in beautiful pink flowers all the way along. That coal frame over there's got some strawberries in it. This bed's doing particularly well. Always does the best, this bed, for some reason. I don't know why, but if you look here, you can see crocuses, I can see daffodils, I can see tulips. These are the best ones, these tulips here. They've got a beautiful head on them. They go to about 2.5 foot tall. In fact, in about a month and a half, 2 months' time, this will look absolutely fantastic, this bed, as will that one over there. Again, we've got crocuses in these hanging baskets. I've just been given this. A friend of mine's leaving. He said, would you like this roller? What you do, you put water in it, and yeah, something for nothing. There it is. Garden Master. Can't be bad. These are eventually going over onto my brother's plot, this fencing what I made. I was going to put fencing around my plot, but I don't want to do it now. So I'm going to give them to my brother. We'll be working over there now. Now we've got all this ready for the spring. Basically, there's only one other thing really I need to do, is that shed over to where I want to put it, and then I can really get stuck into my brother's plot. But yeah, that's what the plot's looking like at the moment. Daffodil almost flowering there. Very rare thing to see, especially this time of year. Another month it wouldn't look out of place, but yeah, almost flowering, that one there. Anyway, that's what the plot looks like, guys. So there you go, that's what the plot looks like, guys. It's not looking bad at all. The only thing what's letting me down at the moment is obviously the blue shed. Once that shed's on its base, now it's over onto my brother's plot. I was saying that we will be over there in the next episode, I would imagine, putting them paving stones down and sorting his greenhouse out. Then we've got a lot of digging to do. That's going to be fun. But yeah, that's really it. Oh, hang on. Back to this Chinaman, and well, what it was, I saw this link on a couple of gardening channels. Let me show you the link. Yeah, that's Dan from Allotment Diaries. He was selling 50 of his giant seeds for 99p. I thought, it's too good to be true, this. But there his picture was. So I went click, 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 99p. Then I saw it's going to take 2 weeks to get here. I thought, what? He lives in Yorkshire. Hang on, let's have a look at this closely. Coming from China. Some entrepreneur in China has used 3 of the top giant onion growers pictures and posted them onto his link to sell his dodgy onion seeds. So don't click the link and get the onions, guys. I'm just showing it you. So anyway, 2 weeks later, this turns up. Obviously it's got my details on here, so I'm not going to show you them, but inside this pack
is a pack of onion seeds. There they are. There must be 150 onion seeds in there. 99 pence, all the way from China. Very naughty. Now, I don't know how much this guy's going to be making out of this, but when you take into the account the seeds, the packaging, this packaging, sending it through airmail, it must have cost him close to £1 to do all that. So yeah, first person that I know of is actually mugged me, pulled the wool over my eyes. So this Chinaman, it had to be one of them to actually get me, because you know there's about 1.5 billion of them, so that's not bad going. That out of the 6 billion what's on the planet, there's one person who's managed to pull the wool over my eyes. However, I'm sure if Dan sees this video, he will be very, very angry with this guy, and I don't think he'll be selling too many seeds after that. But yeah, I was completely taken in by the link, the picture and everything. So them seeds are going straight in the bin. Once bitten, twice shy. Earlier this week, I'm looking for a little pooch, and I saw this little Pomeranian. Nose that's all blocked up. Beautiful little dog. In fact, here's a picture of it. 350 quid. 2.5 miles down the road, that's where it come on the what's the name on this website for this dog. It was only 2.5. It's one of these dog forums. They sell a lot. People sell the dogs on them. Not a problem. It is a good forum for buying dogs. Anyway, I saw this dog. 350 quid for that dog. It's a show dog. Apparently it's 12 weeks old. It was becoming with a load of toys, and there was all these questions this person was asking me. And what's your family? Have you got kids? Have you got a garden? You know, all the concerns. You know, he's making it as though he's really, really concerned about where the dog was going. So you know, did all of the work, all the questions what she was asking or he was asking. And I waited for, well, first I waited for 3 days to get the actual reply. I tried ringing, no answer. It was just duh. So it had to send it by email. So I waited for this email to come. Anyway, 3 days later, this first message comes. So I filled it all in, the questions. The very next morning, I get this message. Now we're not actually 2.5 miles from where you think we are. We're in Dublin, and we can send the dog by air freight, and you should get the dog within 24 hours. All you need to do is follow these links and send the 350 quid, right? 350 quid, and we can get the ball rolling. So I thought I'd have a bit of fun with him. So I sent him a message back. Funny enough, my sister and her partner are in Dublin, and they're literally, you know, I thought, hey, we'll have a bit of fun and games here. Now, that's where Michael comes from, my sister's partner. So I thought, we'll have a bit of a giggle here. So I said, can you send me the details of the address, and I can send my sister around and she can bring the dog back with her when she comes home. I says, she's got the money there and all this, that and the other. Anyway, I've not heard back from him for the last, well, when did I send it out? About a day and a half ago now. Not heard anything back from him. So it was a Chinese man pulled the wool over my eyes. It wasn't going to be an Irishman what did it the second time, I tell you. So yeah, you got to watch out for these guys. Bloody internet is a wonderful thing, but there's a lot of people out there after your money, guys. So be very careful. Don't do what I did in the first instance. Don't click on that link. Not unless you want some seeds. I mean, come on. Even they're not Dan's seeds, which I actually thought they were, but you actually got seeds there. These are going straight in the bin, guys. Honestly, I'm just going to chuck them. I will not use these seeds. So, but it'd be interesting to know whether they were in. I'm just not using them. That's it. So anyway, that's the state of play this week on the allotments, and like I say, hopefully next week we'll get some stuff done over there. That's if this eye, nose, ear infection eases off on me. So until then, thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye for now.